This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay, this is an interesting first pick because plate armor has been a huge overperformer. It's been very strong. You can put it on almost anything and it becomes a huge problem. So it's good, but I think Yuan T Malison is better. So blue is the worst color in this set, no doubt about it. And that's one of the problems with this set, that it's not very balanced on colors or color pairs. Blue is like way worse than the other 4 colors. Black-red is way better than the other 9 color pairs, which are problems in terms of like the longevity of how long you want to play a format. But Yuan T Malison, I think, is good enough to take, despite being blue, because it can just run away with the game on its own, just completes dungeons, it's unblockable, etc. So I think we do take it over the plate armor. I feel like there are some who would go the other way around just because blue is so mediocre, but, you know. Hey, Maximus. Yeah. So improvised weaponry is not bad. It's a decent enough removal spell that, you know, gives you some fixing too. Death Priest of Mirkul can be pretty good. But obviously it's for more, you know, this format's pretty fast. You need your 2-drops, and it's a little clunkier than one loves in this format, so it's been a little worse than I expected. Scion's okay, but not really good enough, I don't think. So yeah. Shalom Rotmus. Let's grab the improvised weaponry. Yeah, that's where we're going to go here. Not a great pack overall. That one was not. We'll probably take the Windseer here. It's one of the few really good blue commons. Yeah, it's a good reason to be in blue. I mean, not on its own. You know, you need a rare, but we got that already. And the Windseer is quite good. So, yeah. We'll grab Windseer. Okay, so Hama Pashar is interesting, and I haven't gotten a chance to play with her, so I may end up taking her here. And it goes well with Yuan T, obviously. She's obviously like all in on dungeons, and that strategy has been less good than I'd hoped in this format, but it's also pretty fun, even when it doesn't work out. And I haven't gotten to play with her yet, so I think we'll grab her here. The blue card here is bad, and the red cards here, you know, Price of Loyalty is good in really aggressive decks, especially if you have sacrifice effects. But we're going to take Hama Pashar. We are going to take Hama Pashar. Okay, so what do we want here? Not really Tasha's Hideous Laughter. If you get 2, things get a little interesting, but don't love Blink Dog either. So, Price of Loyalty, if we ended up in black-red, can be pretty darn good. So, yeah. Let's see. You see a pair of goblins is obviously pretty nice, too, just because of its flexibility. Yeah, I think that's where we'll go in the end. I had to ban someone from the chat in the middle of that, which hurt me in terms of our time. So, yeah. Morning Downhill Zeus. So, now that you see a pair of goblins is interesting. Kind of pushes me in a different direction, but I don't know that that's a bad thing. I mean, this is a pretty good foundation to have for an aggro deck. And maybe we'll change completely, but, you know, Conjurer is okay, but you see a pair of goblins is good enough. I think we just snag it here, see what happens. Okay, so Drider's nice-ish. It is a little harder to make work than I would love, but it might just be the pick here. I don't love any of these black cards. This is a horrible blue card, and the green cards here. I think someone else is actually drafting blue. You know, sometimes you can get away with going blue because nobody else is drafting it, but we just keep seeing Mordenkainen's polymorph, so I think somebody's probably drafting it. So, yeah. I'll grab Drider here. If 2 players are drafting blue, I think you're in trouble. Okay, we got a second Hama Pashar. It makes me really want to go all in on that. Here near the end of the format, you know, that's the kind of thing you want to do sometimes. I think I'm going to take her. We took some weird picks in various places, given how things have turned out. I mean, you know, because we took a Drider and you see a pair of Goblins and all that, but yeah. Bar the Gate's quite good. It also ventures, which we're interested in doing with our 2 Hama Pashars. Scion of Stygia is pretty nice. And I think would normally be the pick here, but since I've already got 2 Hama Pashars, I'm just going to start jamming everything that ventures. We're kind of going to force this, which maybe I wouldn't advise to, you know, if you're trying to win, but I'm kind of glad I want to do it. I mean, I want to try it, because this isn't something I've tried in the format. Yeah, I mean, Silver Raven's not very good, but it's not like any of the other cards in this pack are either. Yep, I'm glad I got sponsored by them too. I think it's going to be a semi-regular occurrence, a couple times a month. That I'll be doing a little into the AM promo. And yeah, they are cool shirts. So we're forcing a deck. Again, don't advise it at home. And like, you know, I could be pulled out of this for sure if I start seeing things that I think are significantly better than what we have. But, you know, we'll just grab you Come to a River here. Why is somebody else drafting blue? Well, we got a Hideous Laughter. Like I said, if we get 2, kind of in an okay shape. So we took a lot of blue cards in that first pack. Not normally what you want to be doing. Okay, well, of course. So we've got a Skeletal Swarming here, which is quite strong. We have 1 black card. So this is the kind of place, you know, a lot of the time when I try to force a deck, I get convinced to go the other way around because of opening something that's just so much better. And Skeletal Swarming is really good. It's got Fly, which goes with our theme pretty well. If I had, like, you know, if these were red, black or green cards, I think I'd be a little more convinced to go the Skeletal Swarming route. As is, I'm not super convinced. I'm gonna take Fly. We're just gonna do this. Asmodeus, huh? Okay, so probably want to take Containment. I think it's better than Charm, Sleep, or Genie Windseer. We're gonna need the removal, so. Yep, I know Fly Ventures. That's why I wanted it. So we could get a 3rd Hama Pashar. Okay, if we get a 3rd Hama Pashar, I think we just start taking everything that says Venture on it, right? I mean, we're just gonna do it. Like I said, I haven't got to play with her, so getting 2 would be nice. Okay, so this is interesting. We've got Barrow in here, who we could try to splash. Right now we don't have any fixing, but it's a pretty nice fixer. We've also got Planar Ally, though, which is kind of easier to use, more likely to make the cut, and it ventures, you know, every time it attacks. So I think I'd take it over Barrow in. If I already had fixing, maybe I would have taken Barrow in, but... we are going to need 2-drops, like, no matter what we try to do with this deck. Right now, we don't have them. This format is quite aggressive. You've got to be adding to the board early. God, this pack is terrible for us. So, yeah. We're trying to force a deck, and it's not going well. Who saw that coming? So I think we take Zalto. I mean, there's a chance we end up back in red. We do have, after all, 3 red cards. And it's pretty good. And, you know, we'll take him. Okay. So, here's an interesting pick. So, we can take another card that ventures, albeit, you know, situationally. We can take a 2-drop because we just have to have them or we're going to die. Or Fixing, or Scion. I do kind of think... We have 3 Hama Pashars. Let's just take everything with Bar the Gate. Yeah, well, that pack, the Morningstar and Zalto still being there is clearly a sign that red's open, but we're just ignoring it. So, you know, again, I'm not advising doing this, but it's near the end of the format, so we're just sort of doing it. Yeah. Yeah, we do already have 2 ways to repeatedly venture, which is pretty good. Yeah, Zalto 5th pick. I mean, I think you take Zalto over the Morningstar. It's close, though, in this format. I mean, it's a 2-drop. It basically even gives you a creature, you know, so. Okay, well, we'll take a Shortcut Seeker. Adventures and stuff. Yeah, the 2-mana 2/2 lifelinker is pretty good. I think maybe Minimus Containment's still better, but it's definitely close. All right, take a Scion here. We're mostly a blue deck, which is not a great way to go. Grab a Mace. Yeah, I like the Scion a fair bit, for sure. I need more Venture and more 2-drops. That's what we're really wanting to see. Wow. So a third you see a pair of Goblins? Okay. Maybe we'll just wheel some of the... Well, okay. Well, we're going to do it. We need early plays or we're going to get run over anyway, and it's not optimal because it's, you know, a 0-4, but it also ventures, so let's just do it. Let's just go for it. This is the part of the format that, I mean, I think the venture deck is so much fun. I wish it was better than it is, but it's definitely a lot of fun. So, you know, we're gonna do it. We had a blue-white deck last weekend go 7-2, and one of the losses was from a computer crash. So, granted, it was a way better deck than this one. It was more white, which is clearly important. Okay. See you later, Downhill Zeus. So Aberrant Mind Sorcerer gets us some things back. Nothing that exciting right now, frankly. But you find the villain's lair isn't especially good, and there's also an Evolving Wilds. Do I like the Wilds more? I think maybe. I mean, opening up the possibility to splash things will increase our deck's power level. And that kind of matters, I think. None of the cards that we could take have Venture. You know, the Fang Blade would be nice with Hama Pashar, but let's take the Wilds. Okay, well, this is nice to pick up here. This is like one of the few... it really pays you off for venturing. We do have Delver's Torch and Dungeon Map, both of which I'd really like. But I think the Apprentice is good enough, and we already have some repeatable venturing, that I think I'd rather have the Apprentice, because it ventures when it enters the battlefield, and then it has a venture completion bonus effect. So we'll just grab it. Okay. So here's another planar ally. So obviously Priest of Ancient Lore is the better card. Especially because we need early plays really badly. But planar ally, you know, it ventures. Now we got to take the Priest. I mean, it doesn't matter that we have all this sweet venture stuff if we're just going to get run over. You know what I mean? So, all right, we'll take a 2-drop here. We need them. I'd say we already have enough venture to, you know, make the deck work. Because we do have, I think, 4 repeatable ways to venture now, which is quite good. Okay, so Ray of Frost gives us a way to interact early. I think I like it a little more than the Pixie Guide in this deck. Yeah, we'll grab the Ray. We do have a few die roll cards, but not really enough, I don't think. Okay, so True Polymorph, pretty wacky. Probably just take Half Elf Monk. Okay, so we do have Minimus Containment, so putting it on top of our library is a pretty good feeling. Do we have any other auras? Okay, we have Fly too. Yeah, I think we probably go for it. We have a more offensive one and a more defensive one, so I think we take the Moon-based Cleric here. Alright, here's a Delver's Torch. I think we probably take it over a Windseer. I don't think one normally would, but with 3 Hama Pashars, I think we do. Not gonna play any of that stuff. Okay, here's a Dungeon Map. So we could have had so many UC of Pair Goblins. I think if we had like a red-white aggro deck, that probably would have been our best course of action. I want a Scion or another Secret Door more. Probably a Scion. Probably not playing +2 Mace in this deck. Okay, so this deck is a wacky one. Not really any way around that. We're playing some very subpar cards, but we got 3 Hama Pashars. We wanted to sort of have fun with all the venturing, and I think we will. More 2-drops would have been good. Silver Raven is probably what I'm going to cut. I mean, it is a 1-drop, but it doesn't actually, like, do anything. Like, it just gets overpowered quickly. We don't have any artifact payoffs. I think that's probably what we cut. Oh yeah, Ray of Frost too. Yeah, we got a nice number of enchantments for that card. Yeah, so I think this is our deck. We got a lot of venture. That's the plan. See if we can go really wild with Hama Pashar. Would have been nice to pick up some more of the, like, good white venture cards, like the Gargoyle, or the, like, 3/4 that ventures when it enters, but, you know, other people actually draft those, unlike most of the blue cards, so, yeah. We leave the wilds in just because it helps our mana. The question is whether we can go to 16 lands. We have a lot of 3s, but we might actually be able to do it. We have a couple mana sinks, I guess, but... Yeah, I don't hate going down a Plains here and having a 9/7 mana base, and then adding in... Well, what do we add in? I guess that's the question. We don't really have anything worth it. Like the Raven, Potion of Healing. Yeah, none of that stuff's worth it. We're sticking with it, I think. If we had something worthwhile, I would have done it, but... Wilds is good, even when you have 2 color mana base. Mana bases are just so bad and limited that having 1 land that can get both is really good. Alright, so we got a Hama Pashar. We don't have a 2, and we're not on the play, so that's a little scary. But Priest of Ancient Lore can sort of help us catch back up, as can the Scion, so it's not a complete disaster. Not a complete disaster. They didn't play a 1-drop, so that helps. If they'd played like a turn 1, 1/1 monk, that would have been a problem. Hi, OFA Horus. Glad you like the content. So that's not good, you know. That's a nice aggressive creature. I should put Fly on it. So I could actually put it on it, and I'm the one who would get to venture. That's not a complete disaster. There are probably situations where you would do that. This just isn't one of them. Okay, so, you know, it's tempting to play Hama Pashar, but because I can't set up venturing right away... I mean, I could play Fly on her next turn, I guess, and then... Yeah, maybe we want to do that. Let's do it. That's not bad. So if we play her this turn, put Fly on her next turn, and then play, like, Priest of Ancient Lore, that's a pretty good turn. See how poorly this deck does. It'll be interesting. I probably should have started in the bronze or something. Yeah, well, no, yeah. Keeping them off pack tactics is ideal. The null is pretty scary. I'm with you there. And I can, to some extent. I mean, it's unlikely they get it this turn. It's possible, of course, but not super likely. And then next turn I can use the Scion to at least slow it down. Wonder which dungeon we want. Because we have Hama Pashar, we probably at least consider going through the big one. Right, yeah, that won't quite get them there, so that's good news. Alright, so I think we go with the plan that I outlined, which is Fly on Hama Pashar. Oh, wait a second. With that in play, Fly no longer does a thing. So, do I still do it? I probably do, just because giving it flying actually matters on this board, but... But maybe I don't. Yeah, We're going to do it, and then just in the turn, and then use the Scion to tap down something. Probably the Pegasus, just because we want it out of the way as a blocker for our next turn. Yeah. Okay, big boy. You know, maybe I should have just barred the gate on that. That was pretty stupid of me. That was really stupid. They would have gotten Pack Tactics this turn, but I think it would have been okay-ish. Yeah, let's play our Scion here. Playing with all these weird cards and I forget what they do, you know? Nice! Too bad rolling a 20 doesn't give us any bonus effect in this case. Alright. So that helps. I could bounce Owlbear and then counter it with Bar the Gate, which isn't too shabby, so... yeah, so we definitely attack here with Hama Pashar. Nothing can stop it, her, so she attacks. So, these effects are just so strong, but at the same time, getting double of these is really good too. Like, getting 2 goblins when I counter the creature spell in their turn, that's pretty serious business. Like, for real, you know? Granted, you know, if we get to... I mean, I guess other than when you get to the last one, doubling these is actually not as impressive as doubling most of these. I mean, I guess Miral's Graveyard is nuts, but I think we go with the Lost Mines. We don't really need that Evolving Wilds this game. Then we get to scry again. We will take a 2-drop that can block and kill most of their ground creatures, though. So... I think we're going to go ahead and just bounce Owlbear here and coax them into recasting it. And then we can bar the gate and get 2 goblin tokens. Seems pretty good, right? So, yeah, we'll return this to their hand. We're sort of bluffing in a way. Like, I want them to think that, well, first of all, I didn't play Bar the Gate when I could have before, which will help, I think, in a weird way. But second of all, they probably think I'm just, like, being silly and bouncing that and not actually accomplishing anything. But we'll see. I guess they did say nice at the beginning, so they may know who I am. They may not. Okay, so they're sort of... Feels a little like they're playing around some stuff, but I think we probably still cast Bar the Gate here. So... Yeah. Good to know, Loki. Good to know. So we'll counter that, and we'll make goblins. So we're really in business here in terms of getting all these triggers, because, yeah. So we definitely block Null Hunter with our Scion here. We don't want that sticking around at all. So, alright, so we attack here again. And we put counters places, I think. Seems better than the life drain. I think putting a counter there and a counter here makes sense. Then we'll also play Planar Ally. So we're getting to go off a little bit here. Will it be enough to get us there? I don't know, but we are going off here. Here comes the Owlbear. He's not on the ground, so he doesn't bother us that much. Alright, so... we get to draw 2 cards. Nice. Bar the Gate's a nice little draw just because it lets us keep the status quo, and that's definitely what we want to be doing here. Alright, so... I think we just do this again. I think, you know, these effects are just so good even on their own and when we're doubling them. Okay, so this will search us up removal if we need it, which is nice. I think we leave it on top, which means we leave it on top again. Then I play an island. I think we go ahead and play our priest and leave up mana for Bar the Gate here. And yeah, end our turn. Not killing our Hama Pashar this whole time has been great for us. We have a backup now if we need it, but... Okay, I think we go ahead and just block like that and take the rest. And yeah, we'll bar the gate that. Get ourselves a couple more goblins. So, kind of think we just swing out here. Yeah, I think we just swing out here. And do we want to gain life now more than anything else? Probably not. I think we just go with the counters and put one on each of these. Then we'll draw 2 cards. Play Moon-based Cleric. They said good game, but it's not over yet. I think we put Containment on top just so we have an answer. I mean, we are at 10. I wonder if we'll get to set up like this ever again in this draft, because it was fun. It was fun. Alright, so, you know, there are some random things that could kill us here. I'm just going to throw Secret Door in front of the Owlbear and take 2. Just in case. Alright. I guess I should have said good game when they did, but you never know what people are what people are doing, you know? You never know. That was a lot of fun, though. This is definitely, I mean, this is the first time in a long time since, you know, in the beginning of the format, I drafted several Super Venturi decks, and they were fun. But it's been a long time since then, you know. Since those days, one tends to, you know, not draft these silly decks, but Hama Pashar is fun, so. Okay, so we do have a 2-drop. We're on the draw. I think this is passable. It's likely we draw the 3rd land we need to really get going, so. Yeah, definitely jank. I'm with you there. And it was fun jank, that's for sure. You know, the feeling of venturing dungeons is one of the big cool things about the opponent. Not the opponent. Talking. About this format. So, yeah. So we did draw a 3rd land, which is good. And they didn't play a 2-drop, which I think is also good. I find it hard to believe most decks will be able to outvalue us late. Our biggest concern is getting run over before we can get going, which can definitely happen. So, it'd be nice to draw like a Hama Pashar here. We didn't. I think we probably just keep pressuring our opponent, though. I could play the Priest instead of the Apprentice here, just to try and hold on to the Venture, but I think that's getting greedy. The Apprentice is just a much better aggro creature, so I don't really think we want Secret Door here. So I'm happy to scry that to the bottom. Okay. We attack in the air. Well, I could attack on the ground, too. I don't hate that. I think I'm down with that trade. Yeah, I am. They get to Venture, of course. But I think I'm okay with that. So I could leave up Bar the Gate here, but I think it's probably more worthwhile to add to the board than it is to try something like that. The thing I could do to sort of hedge my bets is play Moonblessed Cleric, which lets me add to the board, but also make sure I draw a removal spell next turn. I don't hate that plan. So, they're playing black, huh? So that probably means we just want to put Containment on top. Just so we have an answer. Okay, well, we didn't get to go crazy there, but our opponent got stuck on one color, and we just sort of curved out and put a removal spell on top of our library, so works for me. I'm good, Sloth versus Platypus. I'm good. I'm glad you're off for the weekend. We need to get a turn 2 Yuan T Malison that just runs away with the game. We played against somebody, I don't remember if it was last weekend or the weekend before, who had 2 of them, and that was not a lot of fun. That was not a lot of fun. Okay, we don't have any early drops. We're again not on the play, but it's passable. We have 3s, so... Okay, and now we have a card that'll let us interact if there's a disaster. So that's nice. It's not quite a disaster. It's not good. This is the kind of deck that could definitely run us over before we're able to do anything. So, we just take the 2 here, I think. Okay. Well. Do I play Moonblessed Cleric here and search up the Frost thingamajig? Because it'll shut this down? Probably. Yeah, let's play Moonblessed Cleric here. We could leave mana up for the Scion, but that would be a little bit of overkill, I think. Yeah. So we want to put Ray of Frost on top. Wow, we have our other 2 enchantments in our hand. I kind of overlooked that. Good thing I did that then, because drawing this would have made this just a 3-mana 3/2. Didn't have a choice, but the one that I wanted the most was available, so I'm down with it. So yeah, we can't block it because it can just double its power and all that. That's what they're going to do, interestingly. Do I want to use Ray of Frost? That's kind of the question I have here. I do think using Fly sounds pretty good. I think that's what we're going to do here. And then I think we'll just leave up mana. We can wait to use most of the cards in our hand, so let's scry. I think a 2-drop looks pretty good against this opponent. Yeah, end our turn. Yeah, so we'll play the Scion here. We have the mana to do it, so... Adding to the board is always nice, too. While hindering our opponents. We want a 10 through 20, and we got one, which is great. That lets us sort of keep this Ray of Frost in our back pocket. I'm kind of surprised at how little our opponent's doing. I don't understand what they might have in their hand. Must be removal, I'm guessing. Interesting. So... I think we probably just cast You Come to a River, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we get in for the 5 here. Yeah, we'd definitely rather have a creature. Then we'll play our Dwarf Hold Champion. Okay. Does that mean we win? 3, 6, 7, 9. Not quite. Doesn't quite mean we win. I do think we use our Ray of Frost here on Targnar. Then the question is, do I want to use our containment? We don't have to, so I don't think we do. I think we just attack with everything here. Let's just get in for 1 more damage. If we do. Yeah, because then if they play another creature, like if they block our champion here and that's their play, next turn we can put the containment on something and that'll be plenty good, so. Yeah, we're going to put a counter. I guess on the flyer makes the most sense. It's doing all the venturing anyway. It deserves the payoff, right? So, okay, well, that's not exactly ideal, but we can put containment on the reach creature. Attack with both of these. I guess I should have attacked with that too, in retrospect. Draw our card. And play a Delver's Torch. So we're kind of running out of gas, which is kind of weird. Not really what I would have expected to have going down right now. So if they find a way to turn a corner here and like kill our Moonblessed Cleric or something, we're going to be in trouble. Although if they have to like spend their whole turn to do it, we can just equip Delver's Torch and attack for lethal. So that's good, but yeah, it's a little precarious. It is a little precarious. A reach creature helps. Yeah, see, that's not what I wanted to draw. Fight spell here would be real bad, but yeah. I could attack with the Goblin too. The only thing is if they have removal, they blow us out so hard if we do that. So I think we just attack with the 5/4. So we'll scry. We need to find some action. That is not action. Don't have a trick. Don't have a trick. Don't have a trick. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not good. All right. We knew that was possible. At least it's a 2 for a while. It's not really because of fly, but you know what I mean. Okay. We need to draw something real. That's very real. In fact, I can turn that Owlbear into a 1/1 and attack him right away, so that's a great draw. That is a very good draw. So we'll make a Goblin. We go to combat, turn this into a 1/1, and attack with our 2/2, which lets us venture again. Do I want to counter or to drain them? They're at 2. I think I'm going to put the counter on the flyer. They have to block. I guess maybe putting it here made more sense, because then all 3 creatures would be lethal, huh? Oh, yeah, you're right. I forget about the lose 1 life, which is foolish of me. Let's see if our opponent takes advantage of that. They do not. They do play a scary dragon. Hey! We're just gonna play her for fun. Yeah, turn her into that into a 1/1. Swing out. Draw 2 cards. I mean, there's no way they don't die here, so... Alright, well, we're at least 3-0 here. You can turn your own creatures into 1/1s, Dennis. You're right. For sure. I definitely could have won a turn earlier than I did. Yeah, so far, I mean, that opponent had the most aggressive start we've seen, and it still wasn't a great one. Like, they played Targnar and then didn't really do anything, and we had ways to slow it all down and value them out in the long run. Eventually, we're going to run into, like, a deck that we just can't stop. Man, this hand is not good. The lack of blue is bad, and most of the cards are expensive. So, yeah, we're going to mulligan. This one's keepable. I think we probably throw away... 1 Hama Pashar? Yeah. So, yeah, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Real possibility. Yeah, we also haven't seen much removal. That's true, too. Our creatures have just gotten to live their life when we put Fly on them, or Hama Pashar. So I would probably trade there if they attacked me. They didn't, but I probably would have. So playing Delver's Torch and then equipping it next turn is actually pretty sweet with Dwarfold Champion. It would be a 4/4, but that's still not exactly like big enough to rumble. So I think we just play Hama Pashar here. She actually lines up pretty well against both of these creatures if she has to. I hope she doesn't have to, but looks like she didn't have to. So, kind of think I attack with the champion here and then just hold up Bar the Gate. Yeah. Definitely down with that trade. If they want to use a trick or something, I'm not broken up about it either. Okay, yeah, I mean, that doesn't upset me too much. It is, you know, if I had a creature to play, I would do it. These 3 things don't really add to the board, so I think just holding on to Bar the Gate is probably the better move here. Do I want to use Bar the Gate on that? I mean, probably. The chances they play another creature aren't amazing, and it has flying, which is a nuisance. I mean, I was hoping they'd just tap out to play something, but because they haven't played anything on any of these turns, I don't think they have another creature they can play right now. So I'm just going to use Bar the Gate. And we get 2 Scries, which should be helpful. Yeah, we do want to land, so we'll be leaving that on top. So in this case, I think I would just take it if they attacked me. Definitely just take that. Alright, so yeah, I think we play Shortcut Seeker. It lines up really well on the board. And obviously can be a real problem for our opponent if things go the right way. They're all in on the Moonblessed Clerics. Did they get anything last time? They didn't. Weird. Very weird. Okay. So, kind of think I play dungeon map here, and then also play the Delver's Torch, and the next turn equip the torch. Yeah, it seems pretty good. So we have some options here. We could grind out a bunch of value with our map. We could also just equip Delver's Torch to our Shortcut Seeker, which would make it a 3/6. and Scion of Stygia, one of their creatures. I think that seems pretty good. I think we'll go ahead and equip... Oh, wait. Do we have the mana for that? Yes, we do. Yeah, we'll equip Shortcut Seeker here. I'm just going to play the Scion here, so I tap down one of their blockers, and then they can't kill Shortcut Seeker in combat. Yeah. So we'll tap down a Moonblast Cleric. We only get to tap it for a turn, which is a little bit of a bummer. However, we can now attack with this. And, yeah. So we get 2 goblins. If they let it hit them, and they do we want 2 counters or to drain them? We want counters. I think we put the counters on our goblins because, well... 3, 6, 8. I could put them both on Shortcut Seeker. But yeah, I think just putting one on each goblin is better because it makes everything able to attack. Wow, things are just coming up our way, aren't they? So I could just make this unblockable, but I think bouncing one of their creatures is better than that. So I think we use you come to a river, bounce a Moonblast Cleric, and then I think we just attack with everything but Hama Pashar. We get to draw 2 cards. Now we have to decide what dungeon we want to go into next. Oh, hello. We're in business, man. This our opponents have had some serious mana problems, to be fair, but we've gotten to go off with Hama Pashar a lot more times than I would have thought. Okay. They must have a trick here. That's the only thing that makes any sense, right? That's not too much of a problem. Yeah, so I think we play our Apprentice here. Its ability will go online now, too. So... yeah, I think we just go through the Lost Mines again. We bottom that. I think we're okay with that. It gives us something to do if our opponent... So there's their red mana. Let's see if they can get there now. Doesn't help them a ton. Okay, so we equip our torch to the Apprentice, because flying. And yeah, we can still attack with all 4 of these, no problem. So I think that's what we do. And we can actually even shrink one of them. I guess we shrink the biggest one, because why not? Does mean they can block my Apprentice, I guess, but that's not really something I'm alarmed about. We'll make some more goblins. Then I think we probably just leave up Bar the Gate. We could dungeon map, but seems a little like overkill. So they do get to kill all those things, but their whole board got wiped, and we have Bar the Gate and Minimus Containment in our hands, so not super alarmed. Removal wouldn't be great for us, but any creature is not a problem. And removal wouldn't even be the end of the world. We have a good mana sink right now, especially with Hama Pashar in play. Well, you know, I was excited to play with her. Yeah, we definitely counter that. I was excited to play with her, and it's been better than I would have ever expected. I think there's definitely some luck involved. Balav. There's definitely some luck here, but yeah. So let's go with the counters again. I'm going to put 1 on our flyer this time and 1 on a goblin. Okay, so if I Minimus Containment here... oh, I don't need to, because I can just make that thing into a 1/1. So... let's go ahead and Venture first. Because we get to draw 2 cards. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, now I think we put Fly on... I think I'm going to put it on a Goblin just because Hama Pashar is way more of a target. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and just turn this into a 1-1. You can actually just swing out now. I mean, we could have all along, I guess, but... Okay, Windsear's pretty good. Another flyer doesn't hurt. Of course, if I play my Cleric here... make 2 more Goblins. I mean, I guess playing Cleric and grabbing our removal spell to put on top is probably pretty good. Even though we already have 1 removal spell, I think having a backup one, just in case something goes really crazy, would be good. I mean, we've definitely had some serious luck. I think all of our opponents have had mana problems, or most of them. And we've seen, like, no removal, as Ancient Hangover pointed out. Like, every time we play Hama Pashar, she's just there forever, you know? Anytime we put Fly on a creature, it's just there forever. Yeah, I mean, this is another hand where we don't have anything. I mean, we can at least play Delver's Torch on turn 2. We don't really get to add to the board, but... yeah. I wonder why that happened. I thought I fixed some settings that had stopped that from happening, and it didn't happen last weekend, but... So our opponent played a scary creature on turn 2, and we don't have a thing to play. The good news is we can play our Priest of Ancient Lore next turn and set up the, block, which is pretty good. And that is what we'll do here. Play the Priest. Hope they don't play an Equipment, because, you know, if they play an Equipment and equip Dwarfhold Champion, that's like a nightmare from hell. So, I think we try to block. Good chance they have a trick. They don't, though, so I'm down with that. We would have really liked one of those. Our deck, you know, has a lot of Venture payoffs, but it doesn't have Cloister Gargoyle, sadly. You know, just 3 Hama Pashars. Alright, so I think we play Shortcut Seeker here. It's actually got a good stat line for this board. And just sort of brick wall everything. Alright. They look less aggressive now, you know. Turn 2... We have that in our deck, too. I guess if we played it on turn 2, people would be like, uh-oh. It's an aggro deck. Theirs definitely looks more aggressive than ours, but, like, not by, like, a huge amount. Okay. So... I think we play our map here, and then in the turn, let's just leave up Bar the Gate and Scion of Stygia. Play Dungeon Map here. So, Lightfoot Rogue is pretty annoying. We can start 2-5. It'll gain Death Touch when it attacks no matter what. So I may just play the Scion and tap it down. Although I think just taking 2 from it is probably fine. And we can cast Bar the Gate if they play a scary creature. And then if they don't play a scary creature, we can still play our Scion of Stygia to tap something. Like the 0-4. So that we have a better attack with our Shortcut Seeker. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and Bar the Gate. I think we'll Scry. Ooh, there's Yuan-Ti Malison. Yeah, we definitely want him. So, I mean, I could equip just to venture, but that doesn't seem awesome. I think we'll play Yuan-Ti Malison here, who can start going off, especially with Delver's Torch. And I could play the Scion just to block the 2-1 at some point and tap another thing, which is worth noting. Yeah, so I think we leave up mana for our Scion and just end our turn here. I think I probably just take the hit here. Do I? Yeah, we're just going to take the hit. Maybe. You know, I kind of think, yeah, let's do this. Let's play the Scion. Tap down Priest of Ancient Lore. Honestly, maybe tapping the Gargoyle was better there, but I'll take it. And then we'll block the Rogue. So our plan right now is equip Delver's Torch to Yuan T. Malison. Uh-oh. That's a problem. Alright, so yeah, equip Yuan T. Malison here. Attack with it alone. So a goblin is pretty appealing. I guess putting a counter on the Malison makes the most sense, yeah. So then we can play Secret Door. And then we can venture again to draw a card. Yeah, getting Hama Pashar in play while we have this online would be awesome. Whoopsie on my streaming title. Nice. Alright, so we block there, and we block here. Do they have a trick to blow up our Shortcut Seeker? Not exactly. But I think that works for them. They get to keep their creature alive. I really need a Hama Pashar here with all the venturing we have. That would be great. Okay. Go through the mine again. So Fly is pretty useless here, unfortunately. I guess as quickly as we're going through the dungeon, I probably should be choosing the other one by now. The big one. I probably should, yeah. Okay, so let's venture. Put a counter somewhere. I think putting it on a goblin is nice because they can just block Delina on their own. If I do that, like one goblin can. And then we can also venture again. And draw a card. So we've got a lot of life. I mean, a nice board, but we don't actually have that much life. Okay, let's hope we can actually kill her this time. All right, I think we were going to because they decided to scoop. So 5-0 with this thing, huh? 5-0. See if I can update my record this time without everything freezing on me. That should be interesting. Looks like it worked. So yeah, I mean, we've definitely had some luck on our side. That, no doubt about it. We've had lots of opponents stumble on mana. We haven't gone up against very many really aggressive decks. We still haven't really seen removal. But nevertheless, we're in pretty great... our deck's been pretty sweet, you know, so... All right, solid enough. We're actually going first. We haven't done that a lot, honestly. That's a nice thing to draw, because, like, I don't know how much I want to play Scion of Stygia this turn. Not very much. So there's Hama, but I think we probably... I mean, she could hold them off, I guess. And then we have Bar the Gate, and we could start going crazy. Yeah, I don't hate that plan. Yeah, let's go ahead and play Hama Pashar here. If they have an answer, they have an answer. But if they don't, we're in kind of okay shape. I think I would just take Targnar if it attacked us here. They can't double its power right now, but they could easily have a trick. Yeah, so we're just going to take 2. Underdark Basilisk, huh? Okay, so I think we just pass here. There's a good chance they have a fight spell they want to use on the Underdark Basilisk, and we have you come to a river to deal with that, and if that's not what they do, we have other options. So I think we just pass. So with you come to a river up, I could consider throwing a block up, but... and making them pay 4 and then just bouncing their creature. That's not bad. I think that is what I'm going to do. If they have a trick or something, we can blow them out with you come to a river. If they pay 4, we get a bunch of tempo. It's not really a blowout, but... I think I'm fine with it being the outcome this turn. We also haven't had very many mana problems to add to our list of things that have gone our way. So we'll bounce Targnar here, which now we do kind of get a blowout because we got rid of a card. We didn't get rid of a card if they just paid 4. Oof. Okay, so we continue to fail when it comes to drawing more lands. So I don't think we can really afford to just like leave up Bar the Gate and stuff like that here. I think we just need to play our Priest, try to find some more mana. We don't, but we did find a card that ventures when it ETBs. At some point, we'll be able to play Yuan Ti. The reason I haven't is just because I feel like I need to be getting things out there that can actually trade or block. Because if we don't, we're going to get run over. But maybe I should just be... Right, so we kind of knew that was coming. But yeah. Probably no attack this turn. So I think we just have to pass and use Scion of Stygia. So we're finally in trouble. We're in trouble. Yeah. We're up against an aggro deck for one thing, and for another thing, ooh, yeah, pay your mana now, because now I can just really... Nice, we even get to lock it down for a turn. So we get a pretty good deal there. Basically stops the attack this turn, which is pretty helpful. Okay. So is it time for us to just start trying to win a race? Maybe. Yeah, so let's put Fly on Priest of Ancient Lore. We get to Scry. We definitely bottom that. And I think we play Yuan Ti Malison. Alright, so Pack Tactics is about to wreck us. So that's fun. That's fun for us. This was bound to happen at some point, right? Yeah, so I guess we'll kill an Underdark Basilisk here and just take the rest. Yeah. So... we do have Minimus Containment. I probably want to put that on Targnar. Seems like enough of a problem. We do get a Goblin this turn when we venture. You know, I'd rather block with the Priest, I guess, because this ability is the better one, but for the most part. Yeah. Get a Goblin. Should I have just attacked with both? I should have. I would have gotten 2 venture triggers. I was thinking it only did that when it attacked alone, but I still get that trigger either way, so that was kind of stupid. So, yeah, then I think we play Bar the Door. Rather, Secret Door. Then we put Minimus Containment on Targnar. Uh-oh. So this is going to become a 4-4 again. I mean, I guess it could have anyway with the treasure. I think we're finally going to lose this one. The dream is over. Okay, so it actually didn't pump that. I think we actually blocked the Prowler. Wait, they can actually still use the ability, so never mind. I guess we'll block a Basilisk then. And just chump Null Hunter. Yeah. Yeah. We are winning with blue again. This time we kind of forced a wacky deck and it's worked out for us, but yeah. Alright, so... play our Apprentice here. Making the Secret Door a 5/5 is not a bad plan. It can't block the Null Hunter, but it would be able to block a 1/5. It would be able to block everything else. Funnily enough. So we get to draw a card if we attack with Malice in here, but I think we'll be pretty close to dead if we do, but I don't really see another option for us. Yeah. Drawing a land is good. Yeah, I mean, this is the game where we had mana problems and our opponent had a really fast start. It was bound to happen eventually after how lucky we were early. Alright, so we block the Trampler. And yeah, we have to block that too, and we go to 2. Yay! I think I mismanaged this game to some extent, but I don't think it was really winnable ever. So... I guess if we'd gone off more with Hama Pashar early, we probably would have gotten there, but... yeah, so we're dead. We dead. Got out to the quick 5-0. All right, now we're 5-1. Well, we were already losing by the time you said that, Hefty Lefties. That game was never really looked especially winnable. Yep, this is fine. I mean, you know, as the player who's going second, I would have liked a 2-drop, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, that somebody finally killed Hama Pashar. Uh-oh, so this is real bad. We're gonna slightly increase our chances of drawing a 2-drop to block that thing here by searching up a land, but Doesn't look good. Yeah, I mean, this thing can run away with the game if you can't stop it. And most you know, this is part of the reason you have to have 2-drops, so. I don't know if I'll draft a Korea. I just don't love the format a whole lot. I mean, I don't hate it, and I know they fixed it to some extent, but... yeah. So, good chance they have a steal effect ready to go. So with that steal effect in mind, no. Yeah. I kind of like the idea of flashing in the Scion before their combat and tapping down their Horde Robber. And then I have pretty good blocks for these 2 guys with the Scion. But yeah, I mean, we haven't really run into this deck yet today, so yeah, we'll play Scion here. Tap down Horde Robber. Oh yeah, the equipment in this format's really good. I'm with you there. So there's a good chance they have a trick here. Or, you know, removal. That works too. Yeah, I mean, this is what this deck can do. It's definitely the best deck in the format. Black-red is. Another Scion isn't bad. Kind of works. I can actually... oh no, that has Menace, so... yeah. So I think we pass. Flash in the Scion this time to tap down Armory Veteran. I think that gives us our best shot. Nice. So we got the full tap down effect twice. So they say good game. I mean, what are you gonna do here? We definitely block. They have to sack a creature or use a trick or just trade. That works too for me. Okay. So I'm going to be greedy here and play Hama Pashar first rather than the Apprentice, because I think if we're going to find our way out of this, that's what we're going to need to do, more or less. They're pretty much out of gas, is the bright side here. And they don't have a sack effect right now. So I like that. That gives us a it gives us a chance. We need to find removal for that Armory Veteran, of course, but... so I think we just take this, let them have the treasure. If we want any sort of chance... so yeah, play the Apprentice here. Scry twice. Ooh, you come to a river is not bad. I think we leave it on top. So I think then we slap Fly on Hama Pashar. We attack. We make 2 goblins. Okay. We're trying. We're trying to do it. Don't remove Hama. She's fine. She's fine. Don't worry about her. We're gonna need her help to get back in this. Are we at low enough life against a black-red deck that we need to do the Dark Pool? That would be good. Making our creatures bigger does matter, but I think the life gain might matter more. Okay. I think we let them have the treasure and we double block Armory Veteran here. Treasure's not nearly as much of a problem at this stage of the game as it is in the early game. I mean, you know, I don't love it, but it's not as much of a problem. So maybe I do just attack here with Hama Pashar and put the counters on the Apprentice. I could attack with both and just plan on having you come to a river if they do something gross. It's not a bad plan. If they have straight up burn, we're in some trouble, but yeah, I think we can get away with this. Maybe I just bounce the Horde Robber no matter what. Because I can also counter it. Counters, huh? Counters. So... I kind of feel like gaining life is pretty important here. Yeah. We're low enough, and they have enough ways to do a bunch of damage out of nowhere that I think we had to go that route. The counters are usually the better choice, but I don't think they were here. That's sad. So I could bounce my own Hamapashar, but I don't think we need to. Let her die. Yeah, I think we go ahead and just bounce this Horde Robber. And then we cast bar the Gate on the Horde Robber. I only get to draw one card now, but, you know, tacking that onto a counterspell feels pretty good. So they're officially out of gas, and we're about to go a little crazy. Hamapashar still being in play would have been nice, but, you know. Submit 0. Yeah, I think we still go this route. We bottom that. And end our turns. We've got them on a 3-turn clock. We need them to just keep drawing lands. Removal wouldn't be good for us. So if I put a counter on Hama, they wouldn't have been able to kill her in retrospect. Maybe I should have kept Draconic... Not Draconic Roar. It's a lot like Draconic Roar, an older card. Dragon's Fire. That's what it is. Alright. I mean, that's... Right now, this is a race we win. Turn it into a 1/1. Oh, actually, we don't really want to. There's no reason to do it, so... we'll make a Goblin. No reason to move the torch here, either. So, we definitely just block the Ghast if it attacks us here. They can't kill our Apprentice with the trigger. We stay at 9. So yeah. Nice. So we can shut down any red creature they might draw right now. I think this time we want the counter. Just in case that puts it out of range of another Dragon's Fire. Yeah, that's it. We got there. You know, our opponent had a very frightening start, and we managed to stabilize, and then they just, like, drew all lands, but... Feels good to beat black-red either way, because that deck is a menace. We had enough tempo to hold them off, and... Yeah, I mean, again, they didn't draw super well. Can we get to 7 wins with 2? Last weekend we got 7 wins with a blue-white deck, and we might do it again this weekend. They're very different decks. Our blue-white deck last week was sort of a... It was like a mid-range tempo deck. This one is like all-in on Venture. So they're very different kind of decks. So we're going first. We have no blue mana, but we do have a 2-drop and a 3-drop. I think it's keepable. It's not amazing, but I do think it's keepable. We've got a good chance at drawing our blue and or more white creatures, more white things. See, we drew our blue. We're fine. I guess we'd probably throw Minimus Containment on top of our library with our Cleric, because why wouldn't we? I can also just slap Fly on my creature here and try to go to town that way. That's not a terrible idea. I think I offer a trade first, though. Yeah. Alright, so I think we do play the Cleric. Containment's the only card left for us to grab, and I think we do grab it, because making sure we have our best removal spell is relevant. So, yeah. You know, drawing a not land would be kind of nice, because we could have played Fly and leave up Bar the Gate, but we have you come to a river as sort of a... Well, we can't do both, because we only have 1 blue mana. The card we wish our deck had. Think about how much better our deck would be if we had Cloister Gargoyles. It would be nice, that's for sure. Okay. I think I probably just passed the turn here. I could attack with Dwarfold Champion and maybe sneak in 3 damage if they're afraid to block with their Gargoyle. That doesn't seem like it's especially risky here. And if they trade with Null Hunter, we're okay with that too, so... Yeah. If they block, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I could use a Come to a River as a trick here to kill the Gargoyle. Interesting. I don't think we want to. I think we just let that happen, and yeah. It's tempting, though. So we kind of want them to try to play a creature here. That would be ideal for us, is a creature. Equipment wouldn't be great, but yeah. This is also the first time I've seen someone go off with Hama Bashar. Nice. So definitely counter that, because green-white is all about life gain, and that thing can get out of hand in a hurry. We're going to scry. So there's Hama. I guess we want her, because we can still put Fly on something and go crazy. Land would be good, but I think we're okay with Hama Pashar being on top. I think we can live with it. Okay, yeah. So we just play Hama Pashar here. End our turn. I think our plan is to put Fly on probably the Cleric, just because it's a little harder to kill. And hopefully start going crazy with, you know, making Goblin tokens and getting counters and all that stuff. It may also kill Hama Pashar here. Which wouldn't be a disaster, at least, because we're not like... the game where we lost, we were like all in on Hama Pashar, and if she died, we were done. This game's not quite like that at this point. Wow, Reach is really annoying right there. How about that? Why do you have to have Reach? Whose idea was that? Yeah. So I think we probably just end our turn again. We have Ray of Frost, and you come to a river to use on their turn. But yeah, not being able to attack here is a bit of a bummer, since we tried to set up Hama Pashar. Also, they have 6 mana. So, like, Hill Giant Herd Gorger would be a nightmare. Again, you know, we've had so many opponents with mana problems that we can't complain that much. Okay. Are we okay with that? I mean, I could bounce her, but I don't think we do. Let's see if they bring the Thunder here. Yeah, they get a Venture here, so I'm sure they do. Yeah, I think green's a lot better than blue. I would agree with that assessment. So what do I want to kill more? I think it's probably the Null. Yeah. Although the creature with Reach is not obnoxious, actually. But this is going to get too big. So, yeah. So if they have a trick, we can use to come to a river. Yep, I can containment their containment. It's true. Alright, so we do get a nice little bit of value here. Our creature survives. We get rid of a card. We go to 16, so we still have plenty of life, which I like. I like that part. Alright. So yeah, I think we play our Windseer here. It gives us the biggest creature on the board, shockingly enough. So I think we take it. Scry 1's a bit of a bummer, but... do we want a 5th land? I mean, not really. We're going to draw it eventually anyway, so... So I could put Fly on something here. That's pretty good, actually. So yeah, let's put Fly on... Neither of you are very good blockers. You're both good attackers. But I guess you're a slightly better blocker. So yeah, we'll put Fly here. I could have containmented their containment, but I don't feel like it's super necessary in this situation. They still know I have Minimus containment, by the way, which is kind of an interesting thing for them to know. Gross. I probably need to containment that, because it's big enough that it will be able to attack and, yeah, that's a good move right there, making our guy that small. So, they have to draw something. So Intrepid Outlander attacking would give them what they need. So I kind of think I have to put containment on Barrowin here. Because if they attack and they get back Trelasara and Venture, and yeah, that's not good. So I think we have to put the containment on Barrowin here. I guess we can attack first. Yeah. They do have Reach. But if they want to trade Intrepid Outlander right now, I think we're kind of okay with it. So I think we attack with the champion here. If we can get them to trade the Outlander, that might be pretty interesting. They do not. Okay, so I think we put a counter somewhere. Probably on the Windseer. Yeah. And then I think we play containment on Barrowin. Obviously, playing Hama Pashar before we ventured last turn would have been sweet, but what are you going to do? I think we had to Minimus containment or things were going to get out of hand. And they might still, so. So they get a Venture here, which they still get to draw a card off of, unfortunately. Oh yeah, you're a 3/4 flyer now. That's great for us. So tricks are a problem, but they're not super likely. I think we'll block there and here and take the rest. Nice. So we can use Ray of Frost to tap down their Outlander. Oh god. Not a bomb. Who decided that was okay? Alright, so we play Hama Pashar here. You have Trample, not Reach. That's good to know. Okay, so I think we pass our turn here. It's a bummer. Like, that's what they drew that last turn, which... pretty heartbreaking. I haven't gotten to play with him at all. I've played against him, it feels like 10 times, but... Is he a mythic? He's not even a mythic. That's weird. So we can at least use Ray of Frost to shut something down. I mean, we can't use it to tap it before it attacks us, of course, but... we're not... It's not a completely disastrous situation yet, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. That's kind of a disaster. I mean, they can hit us for 8 here with Drizzt all on his own, so... That's fun. So the good news is, I can actually block this, and kill it, and Drizzt won't get bigger because this isn't bigger. That said, it's going to trample for so much. So Drizzt does 8 on its own. I guess I could throw Hama Pashar in front of that, and then I would take 1 from it. So 9. So I could just take it all. That's 12 damage. Takes me to 2. I think we go ahead and block it, unfortunately, and take 8. Alright, then we're going to stick Ray of Frost on Drizzt. Okay, at least you're a creature. Creatures are good. We've got 2 flyers, we're at 5. Now they have a 3rd flyer. That's not what you want to see. Kind of had to draw a real card there. So I can do that off of venturing, and that's kind of what we have to do. Alright. I don't mind getting another body. I kind of wish she would get to stay and play, but... Ooh, black mana. I hope you haven't been waiting for that. Well, I guess they haven't, because they've had Minimus Containment Treasure this whole time. So, I think if I were them, I'd just... Well, maybe they can't swing out, huh? It's a little dangerous if they do, especially because I have a card in my hand. I mean, you lose 2 of your flyers, I guess, when you do that, which isn't awesome for them. We had our fly finally get brick-walled after sort of doing everything we wanted it to this whole draft. I'm scared of what they might have here. I would love it if they don't attack, like if they decide it's too risky or whatever. No, okay, yeah. There. I think that's probably right. They're going to make me lose a life, probably, with the Outlander. Yeah. Does that just mean we're dead? I'm glad I kept this card. But yeah, that might just mean we're dead. Okay. So, do we want to kill... I guess we want to kill the Venture Source most of all. Because that's going to be a problem for us. And then... We also block there. Oh, wait a second. I can actually block like this. That's definitely optimal. And then block the Outlander. Yeah. Interesting. So Hama Pashar looks like she might survive. Whew. Okay, so... Gets me back for 9. That's 9. We have lethal. I didn't think that was going to happen, but because they paid life too, we suddenly have lethal. Out of nowhere. Oh, no, we don't. Math. However, We do if I go through the Tomb of Annihilation. Oh my god. Is that going to be a draw? I guess the first trigger happens and they lose. So, I guess it's not a draw. What a wacky end to that game. I didn't think I'd be able to get there. But, yeah. How about that? 7 wins with the blue-white Venture deck that we forced. Definitely had some luck on our side. And, you know, having 3 Hama Pashars, like, that is definitely where you're getting into the territory where you're like, huh, maybe it's worth grabbing all these Venture cards, you know? Maybe I should be doing this. And that's kind of what happened to us. So...